The cell was silent. No windows, no clock, no sense of time. Somewhere in Vietnam in 1972, an American pilot sat alone in the prison cell. He had broken bones, interrogations, and no certainty he would ever go home. Weeks turned into months, and he couldn't tell if it was morning or night. He couldn't tell if help was coming or if he had been forgotten. And the most dangerous thing wasn't the pain, it was this thought: maybe this is my life now. Now, some prisoners couldn't handle it, not because they were weak, but because of what they told themselves. They kept saying, "We'll be out by Christmas. We'll be out by Easter." They needed something to hold on to. But every time those dates passed, something inside them broke. Hope turned into disappointment, then into despair. But one man survived it differently. His name was James Stockdale, a US Navy officer. And what he did is something most people misunderstand. Stockdale didn't stay positive. He didn't lie to himself. He didn't create false hope. Instead, he separated two things: brutal reality and personal control. Every day, he told himself the truth. This will be painful. I might be here for years. This is outside my control. No denial about it, no illusion. But then he asked one question: what is still within my control today? And that question changed everything. He couldn't control when he would be released, but he controlled how he responded under interrogation, how he communicated secretly with others, how he carried himself even in isolation. He created structure inside the chaos. He tapped messages through the walls so no one felt alone. A simple code, a quiet system, a way to remind each other, you are still here. He set rules for himself, so even when everything was taken away, he still had identity. And most importantly, he controlled his language. Not out loud, but inside his mind. He didn't say, "I'm trapped." He told himself, "I'm enduring." He didn't say, "There's nothing I can do." He asked this question: what can I still influence? He didn't say, "This shouldn't be happening." He accepted, this is happening. Now what? That is mental programming. Now pause for a while, because you are not in a prison camp. But listen carefully and be honest. When was the last time you walked out of a meeting and told yourself, "There's no point speaking up anyway"? Or you had an idea, but you saw your boss's reaction and you decided to keep quiet. Or you disagreed with the decision, but instead of thinking of what to say, you thought, "Just leave it. Not worth it." That moment feels small. But that's the exact moment you step out of influence and into vaccination. How many times have you said this at work? "I have no choice lah. My boss is like that. They don't listen to me anyway. This company is just politics." Well, let's be clear. Sometimes those things are true. There are difficult bosses out there. There are political environments that you cannot avoid. And there are situations that are unfair. In fact, nothing is fair. Stockdale's situation was not fair. But the difference is this: he never allowed reality to remove his agency. And that's where most people lose without realizing it. Not in the situation, but in the language they repeat every day. Because your brain follows that language, not logic. So the moment you say, I have no choice, your brain stops searching. The moment you say, they won't listen, you stop preparing your message. The moment you say, this is how it is, you stop influencing anything. And that is how a victim mindset forms, quietly, repeatedly, and through language. So how do you change this? Not by forcing positivity, but by changing the structure of your thinking. Here are 3 practical shifts that you can start using immediately. First, replace no choice. Replace this, I have no choice, with cost of choice. Instead of saying, I have no choice but to attend this meeting, my boss asked me to attend, say this, I choose to attend this meeting because the cost of not attending is higher. Now you're back in control. You are not forced. You are deciding. Second, turn complaints into strategy questions. Instead of, my boss doesn't listen to me, no point to talk to him. Ask this, what does my boss respond to? Data, timing, or framing? And now you move from emotion to observation, from reaction to strategy. And third, add 1 word, yet. I'm not confident speaking up yet. I don't know how to influence yet. I haven't figured this out yet. That 1 word, yet, keeps your brain open. It tells your mind, this is not the end of the story. And here is one that most people miss. Stop using they as your default explanation. They decided. They don't care. They always do this. Every time you say they, you remove yourself from the equation. Replace it with, what can I do differently in this situation? Not because it's your fault, but because it's your life. He didn't wait for control to return. He created control inside what was available. And that's the shift from waiting to responding, from reacting to choosing, from describing the problem to engaging with it. Can you feel the difference? One closes the door and the other keeps you in the game. So this is not about being positive. It's about staying in control. Because once you lose control of your language, you lose control of your thinking. And once that happens, you slowly lose control of your direction. Especially in your 30s and 40s, when it's no longer about working harder, but thinking clearer and responding better under pressure. So here is something simple to remember. Never use language that makes you smaller than your situation, because the situation may be bigger than you, but you are never powerless inside it. And if this resonated with you, take a moment, like this video and subscribe to this channel. Because here, we don't just talk about working harder. We talk about thinking better, speaking better, and showing up in a way that people cannot ignore. And if you want to go deeper, I've created a full course on communication on Udemy, where I break this down into practical steps that you can apply immediately. The link is in the description below. And before your next conversation today, pause and listen carefully to how your sentence starts. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.